Hi everyone. I thought I would pop on and make a video because this morning I realized something and I just want to make a video about it. So I don't even know what this is about really. I don't even know what I'm going to call it. But I think some of you will understand and feel it. So for a long time, and this has to do with my Commonplace book and really all of my books. I mean, even my planners and stuff like that. But for a long time, I have been someone who bought the finest pen possible. I mean, I love, like, point 0.4 was big. I have 0.28s, 0.38s, 0.24s. I love 003, the Copic 03s, 003s. I really love a fine line. I have 0.03 pencils. I like it. Like the biggest I would go is like 0.5 because sometimes pens only came in 0.5, right? And I mean, the more and more I started getting into handwriting more and more, so working on a manuscript by hand and doing commonplacing and really going completely analog where I was a little bit digital before, I have noticed that my handwriting, while I really think it's gotten better, it doesn't look as neat as I want it to. And something clicked while I was watching a couple other YouTubers who use thicker pens, and also a couple people on Instagram whom I follow, who I really love the way their handwriting looks in their books, that clean, crisp black, right? And I only use black ink in my books. So what I noticed is, and I asked a couple of them, I didn't even remember their names off the bat, but I asked them what kind of pen they were using, and they would say, oh, this gel pen. And I'm like, well, that's what I'm using. Well, that's weird because mine does not look that black and it doesn't look that neat. Well, it's because they're using a 0.7 or a 1.0 millimeter point size, right? And so what I did, and I have beloved pens, right? Just pens that I really, really love, like my Zebra Sarasa Grand, and I was not going to buy a new one. And I don't even think they have them in that size. But what they do make is they make refills, right? And so the refills you can get in 0.7. And so I did. I got some, and I switched things around. So I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to kind of show you my system. For most of her writing in my Commonplace books, my planners are a little bit different. It's just pretty much the same black ink, except I use the Pilot Frixion so I can erase, or I have a Muji, but they don't come thick enough. I used to use the Muji almost always for a long time. The Muji erasable pens, but they're 0.4. And that's just, it's too fine. So for what I want to do, so I have the Pilot Frixion. I've been using a 0.5, but I just ordered 0.7 and 1.0. So it's the same thing, right? All right. So I have a book here of something that I highlighted yesterday that I want to transfer into my Commonplace book. So I'll do that in a minute. But I first wanted to just sort of unpack my Commonplace system. So this is my main one that I started first. And I love it, and it's here with me at my desk. And this is the Robiki notebook. I know I've talked about it before. And then inside, it's got my notebook, right, which I've been using for a while, and this is not my first one. So, but you can see my handwriting, while neat and getting neater, it's fairly light, right, and too big, I think, too big. I can't fit as much in. And so you can see on this, I was testing out a darker pen, but then I tested out a thicker pen, and oh my gosh, incredible, right? It just thrilled me to see it. It just looks so much better to me than this. And this is a 0.5, and this is a 0.7. And this is the Zebra Sarasa dry gel, this. So amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. the difference for me, the difference. And then in here, I keep my stickers, which I use to code, so I can keep track of things in my index. And then I have two highlighters. I've got a beige and a gray, which I really rarely use. I was using it at first, but I just don't find myself using the highlighter, so I'm going to take those out. And then I've been using this. This is a 0.5 ballpoint pen, which I really love. And we'll test those out in a minute. And I've got this 0.03 pencil that I've been using. And then this is the new pen that I want to switch. It's not a new pen, but I want to switch this out. This is a 0.5 and I want to make it into a 0.7. So this is called a Pentel Energel Klena. I love this pen. It's so comfortable to write with. It's got a softer grip that's kind of, I don't know. It's a really comfortable pen. Okay, so yeah, let me hold on one second here. All right. I want to show you, I don't want to write in my Commonplace book. I want to test it out here. And this is just paper that I test things on. And those were my tests that I did for myself. So I'm going to show you this. So this is what I have been using. And this is the 0.05. I don't even know who makes this. It's a ballpoint, which I really love, because it doesn't smear, and I can highlight over it. I don't know. All right, so this is a 0.5 ballpoint. Okay. And this is a bigger grid, so I would write a little bit bigger on this. But honestly, I've been trying to make my handwriting half the size of the grid. And I'll tell you, it really is nice. And this is black ink. They're all going to be black ink. It's my ink of choice. All right. So I've been trying to make my handwriting smaller, which automatically makes it look neater. So this is the Klena by itself, the 0.5. Klena. This is a gel pen. And that's fine. I mean, if I went to it right, it doesn't smear. I mean, sometimes on like Tomoe River paper it does, but I don't use that for really much of anything except my Hobonichi. And there I'm always using an erasable pen, so it doesn't matter. So that's the 0.5. So let's take this out. Well, I thought I could remove this. Maybe not. Maybe I can't. I swear this came apart. Okay, I'm not gonna put you through that, but I'm gonna figure it out. Okay, it just was stuck. All right. So here is the Pentel that it comes with. Now, funny enough, the zebra refills work, and I'll save this. I'm not gonna throw it away. I'll just put it right back in here, and I'll write on it with a piece of tape what it is when I'm done. Okay, and that's great ink too. Let me get this little point off. They come with those little balls on the end that are difficult to get off. Okay, so we'll stick it in there, and it should work because they're exactly the same size. Not all refills work with all pens, so you've got to investigate that a little bit. Okay, works perfectly. So let's see what happens here. I love this pen, and and I already have it. Look at that. See, this is the 0.7. This is the Klena with Sarasa dry gel. I love it. It just looks so much better to me. I don't know. Maybe you disagree. I really absolutely love it. Okay, so that's that. And so this is going to be my new pen for here. For sure. And then this is gonna still be my pencil. All right, so I'm not gonna use this one anymore in there. All right, so I want to show you in here kind of how I do this. So, and you can see it all up and down through here. That's when I was still using the highlighter. So I do use stickers sometimes. I always put my, my coated sticker, right? And then if I'm making a line, so I have margins, if I know that I want to write my own personal notes about something, I make a line. And I'm making it a little smaller now, and I'll show you that in a minute. But when I'm making a line up and down, that's when I use the pencil. And I have a ruler tucked in the back here. And so I just take my ruler out and I use that to draw my lines. All right, these lines. So they're nice and neat. I know that's silly, but it's just who I am. So that's that. Okay. If I want to put a line, and sometimes I do, if I want to put a line around something, or if I want a little bit of color, I use my magic pencil. If I want to put a horizontal line, I use my magic pencil. And I don't use a ruler for that. I just drag it across the line because that's very short and I can handle a straight line. So you can see I use magic pencil for those lines. All right. Now I changed this a little bit in my newer, smaller ones. Here I was just trying some different pens and just trying to see what appealed to me, and this is the winner. But you see, so you can see the pencil line goes up and down, so it's kind of unobtrusive. And then, which I'll show you in my new book, now I'm writing my margin notes in pencil. All right, so someone else's words are in pen, my words are in pencil. So that's basically how I do it in my larger book. All right, so that's that. Now, this is my, this is for my field notes book, and this is what I take with me when I go. It's like my whole office in this bag. This bag was a gift to me. I believe it's a Hobonichi bag. And I love this bag so much. So the field notes goes right into that pocket. And then inside, it's got all sorts of pockets, which I will probably never use all of them. But I'm going to take everything out. So I've got my stickers. I've got a gel pen, which I use every now and then. I've got my ruler. I've got, these are my pens. In the pocket here, I've got black washi tape. I've got extra pencil leads and erasers. I've got mechanical pencils. And I've got a book of stickers that I might want to use. So everything fits in here. And there's plenty of room for more because I would like to actually look through my stickers and find some things that I want to use in here. All right. So, and in here, it's just bits and bobs of paper that I've saved or torn out of books or that like came with things. This was a wrapping paper for some Japanese painting paper that I got. They're just little bits and bobs. I tear up brown paper bags or pretty paper bags that I get, and I reuse them, right? So in the Field Notes book has been awesome. I learned about this from Megan Rhiannon, and I totally got why she started using it, and it's been perfect for me. It's really, really nice, and they're really affordable for me. And I go through a lot of notebooks, so and I love that it's only so many pages, and then I start fresh, in case my set, the way I want to do it changes or whatever. But here throughout, like the small notebook, it's perfect. So I figure I'll probably go through one a month. That's about right. And then can store them. So this is my key, and I learned about that from Megan. She said that lots of people do it, but I don't know. I think it's great. I had a different system before, and I used dot markers. But I like this better because it's so much more portable. I like her system a lot. And just some notes about what this is, and then my commonplacing. So here you can see my vertical line in pencil, and then my horizontal line in magic pencil. And then my stickers, just it depends on how I'm feeling where I put them. I have decorative stickers in here, and then all of my margin notes are in pencil. If so, you can see, same here. If I'm not going to write margin notes, then I don't put a margin. If I know that it's just something I'm going to put in here to keep, but sometimes I want to write margin notes. I do sometimes just decorate a little bit because I feel like it, right? So here I knew I needed a little bit more room for these, and I wanted them on one page, like a spread like this. And I left room at the bottom for my liner notes, okay? For my margin notes, not liner notes. Kind of old records. So same thing, right? And I really, if I want to bullet something, I use a magic pencil. And I actually have another one of these. This is my desk pencil. I've got another holder that's cheaper, and just a little plastic black one coming to keep in this bag, because I use this for everything. I love magic pencils beyond words. So, and if you don't know what that is, it's not the pencil itself. You can use any 5.6 millimeter lead holder. It's the lead. The lead. It's really special. It's made out of red, yellow, and blue, and it creates all sorts of beautiful colors. And I believe it's by Kohinoor. Kohinoor makes them, or Cretacolor. If you Googled magic pencil 5.6 millimeter lead, you should find it. So if something that I copy in has 2 categories, it gets 2 stickers, right? This was from an article in Bazaar magazine about Patti Smith, an interview, and I wrote notes about that interview, and so I just printed off a picture of the cover to put in here to remind me. It is such a beautiful, beautiful interview. So same thing. I do like to put stickers in here, right? And then here's another one. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer this in here. But first, let's just take a look at some of these things so you can see these pens. And some of them need to be changed because they're not 0.7. So this is a Frixion, and this is, I got 2, and I shouldn't even have them in here. They're really for my planners. This is a 1.0. So this is a Pilot Frixion in 1.0. And the beautiful thing about Frixion pens is that the end of it here is an eraser, and friction erases the ink. I don't want to use these for my Woolgathering books because I want them to be permanent, and this ink can disappear over time. For my planner, it's fine, and when I make mistakes or change appointments, I can just erase it, and it's perfect. So that's why I have these. I bought a 1.0, and I bought a 0.7, and those will go with my planners. They won't be in my Woolgathering bag. So they're great, but not for anything that you want to last a long time. And there's not a huge difference between the two. In fact, I think the 0.7 actually looks a little darker for some reason. Okay, this is my Zebra Sarasa. I've already put a new refill in here. So this is a 0.7. Same thing as I put up here in the Clina, except this is a Sarasa pen. 0.7 Sarasa, and it's the dry gel. And so the dry gel is supposed to dry right away. You don't have to worry about it transferring, because a lot of gel pens take time to dry, but these are super. So this one, it will be my main pen for this. I like to have the black washi tape in case I need it. I like to keep things pretty clean in my books, and I like it to be mostly black with just little hints of color, maybe from a few stickers or magic pencil. This is something that I want to experiment with. This is the Jelly Roll Gold, and it's kind of cool because it's a 10 actually, it's 10. And if you see it, it's black with gold. So the ink is black and then it has like a gold halo around it. So I thought that looked really nice with the black ink, and I can use that sometimes to make bullets or to make boxes. I thought if I want to box something in, I can use that. And I'm so weird. I know it. It's aesthetically, these things matter to me. I know I'm weird. All right. And then I've got my brush pen in here because sometimes I like to make little sketches. And so for me to have a brush pen is a really important part of what I do. And I like to have a brush pen. This is just a Kuretake brush pen. So those three, all of this will go in my bag. And then I've got a couple pencils here, and I wasn't sure which one oh, this is another pen that's a 0.7, I think. Is it? This is a Uni Jetstream. But I think I can change this out. Let me see. This is a 0.5, yeah. And I'll change that out. Because I'll tell you why. This pen is so freaking comfortable to write with. It's got this, can you see how squishy that is? It is a dream. It's weighted beautifully. It's called a Uni Jetstream. That's all I know. It's kind of cool looking too. I like it, but it's so comfortable. So I'm going to change that out and keep it for when I really want it comfortable. I love this one. I love writing with it, but sometimes I get a little tired, and this is just a joy. So these are the two pencils. My friend John recommended these to me. These are the Zebra Delgards, and they've got the eraser. I think is it the eraser on top? I swear it had an eraser. No? That's an eraser. I'm not sure how to use it, actually. Okay. Well, anyways, this is a 0.5, and it's very, very comfortable to hold. But this one is even better. It's got that squishy gel in it. And this is also a 0.5. So the lead is still fine. I think I'm going to stick with this one. I mean, this is really a nice pencil. I can use this one for drawing, though. So I'm going to stick with this one for now because it's just so, I mean, I don't use it that much. This is bigger. Well, anyways, those are the things that I'll be using. Okay. So I don't know if you can see or not how much nicer my handwriting looks with the thicker ink. I think it does. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do a page here. And I don't know this is such a short passage that I'm putting in here. I don't know what's going to come later. So I am going to put the margin in. So I go over 5. Even if this is small, I still count it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I draw the line at 5 squares. And I have to fuss with it for a second because I am really bad at straight anything. I'm not a straight person. All right, so that's that. And by the way, Midori rulers are awesome. They're heavy, they're good, they last forever. Okay, and this will be, this is myth and storytelling, so that is yellow. And I always leave 1 square as a margin everywhere. It doesn't matter where it is, it gets a margin. And so I'm going to use this one. No, this one. So I like to read a section of a sentence at a time, and then I start. I am not getting used to this new system yet. It had me on like fisheye lens. I didn't do that. It's just doing it on its own. It's really odd. Okay, so I'm going to read this out loud and then transcribe it. So the other world isn't a location. It is the shimmer of something just out of sight. Now, I will tell you that before I started commonplacing or doing my Woolgathering book and transcribing things, I wouldn't have been able to remember that much. I would have had it to do it a couple words at a time. And that's how bad my attention span was. And I'm shooting for even better, but this is where I am right now. Seen through a glass darkly, but inextricably interwoven with this world. Now, one thing you will notice is that I don't hyphenate. I just break the word up and it goes to the next line. I like to keep things justified like that. So that's just how I do it. It doesn't bother me at all when I'm reading, but that's a personal choice. The veil between worlds was always thinnest in the borderlands. At any time, it might slip to one side and allow you to fumble on through. And then when I'm done, I put the author's name. This is Sharon Blackie. And then the title of the article or the book, and this is called Haggitude. And then I take my magic pencil and I draw a line, and I draw it all the way from the side here. I draw it all the way across because I like to keep my margin notes with the quotes that they're covering. And I will put some margin notes in here later. And then down here, I'll just, this will be the start of the next one whenever I have something else to add into it. So that's the system pretty much in a nutshell. But more than anything, that's just a huge discovery to me, to use a thicker nib width, right? And to make my writing a little bit smaller with a thicker nib width, excuse me. I'm really happy about it. It makes me very, very happy. Very, very happy. All right, everybody. Hopefully this wasn't boring. Would love to know your thoughts, what your favorite gel pens are. I'm a huge gel pen fan. You know I love fountain pens, but for things like this, I like just a gel pen that's, I don't know, it's just easy for me to take with me. All of that. I'm going to put a 07 in this one. This is just such a yummy pen. That's squishiness. So good. All right. Thank you so much. See you again soon. Take care.